You know what's frustrating is juggling to find the time to create content and run a business. You're thinking, I've got to record a podcast. I need to send that email to my mailing list. I want to share a reel today. And before you know it, the day's gone and you feel bad that you didn't get any of it done. Welcome to Content Catalyst. I'm your host, Deb Szabo. As a marketing strategist and video marketing coach, I often struggle myself to find the time and energy to create content for my own business after spending the day working on projects for my clients and creating content for them. So I understand all too well the challenges we have to get quality content marketing created. In this episode, I'm going to share with you 7 ways you might be getting stuck and how to work around them when creating blogs, emails, podcasts, and of course, your social media. So, number 1 is finding time. Juggling tasks and responsibilities for business owners, it's challenging, to carve out time for content creation, and you have to put other priorities aside. And so, one of the ways, and I guess it's valuing the importance of content creation. That's one of the things that if you're not finding time, it's because you're not necessarily valuing how much sending that email or creating, that reel for social media can actually help and make a difference for you to connect with your audience. So you can get your message across and tell them what you do and how you do it and how you can help them solve their problems. That's why we're all in business. So, one is to value creating content and the results that you're going to get from it. Because when you do prioritize it as part of your business, it's like if you were a coffee shop, you wouldn't open the doors to the coffee shop if you didn't have coffee beans in the coffee machine. And that's to me how important is content marketing in today's marketing strategies for business. It's got to be such a priority these days because you can't go around doing what you did in years ago and expect the same results. So what got you here won't get you there. And if we continue to do the same old things, then unfortunately, you're going to miss out and somebody else is going to take your clients instead because they're showing up and they're, sharing their authority of what they do and how they do it. So, yeah, finding time comes back to valuing it and valuing the results that you can get from content marketing. And when you do value that, that's when it'll become part of your non-negotiable business activities. Like I said, it's no different than putting the coffee beans in the coffee machine if you're a coffee shop. So it's valuing that time and then scheduling it into your calendar that it's non-negotiable and you get it done. So it might be and I do it myself, like I will get up really, really early in the morning and record a podcast or write my blog. And sometimes late at night as well. I find that after I've had dinner, I'll come back into my studio and I'll just push out that piece of content and get it done. So yeah, just scheduling it and allocating it, when you do value that. Okay, so number 2 is generating ideas. And this is probably one of the things I hear a lot from my clients is coming up with fresh ideas to create content on a regular basis, because let's face it, the well can run dry when we are churning out content. So how do we get around that? Well, schedule time to brainstorm. I have a content planning calendar and I will sit down and I'll look at my year and I'll plan out all my launches and campaigns, and that helps me create themes. So content theming really helps you get that synergy across all your channels. And so then allocate, just like you do to create the content, you actually want to put aside some time to do just the planning side. So just put away 30 minutes, grab a coffee in the morning, look at your calendar when you have your content theme at the top, and do some SEO research. Look at what people are actually looking up. What are the problems that you're solving for people? Use ChatGPT to generate ideas, but I actually just go back to Google. Like if I think about a problem and I'll go in and I'll type what that thing is, let's say it's content planning, I'll type in content planning into Google, and that tells me what people are asking for. YouTube is another great search engine to help you see what people are asking for. So again, if I put in content planning in YouTube, it'll give you all of the things that people are looking for. The other thing to do is when you are creating, coming up with ideas and brainstorming, is if you've got a content, like I've got a content calendar, and because I've got my topics in there, I have like little drop down prompts, and I'll have like 20 of those prompts in there based on that pillar, on that topic, and on that content category. And that will actually give me so many ideas based on what I've come back to, the problems that I'm solving. Okay, number 3 is creating quality content. You want to be sharing valuable and relevant content marketing. And the reason why we want to do that is because we want our, audience to engage with us. So what I find, in fact, that it's often to do with lack of confidence if you're not really sure what you're doing. So if you aren't quite sure on how to get the best video quality to make reels, it's going to be a hurdle for you to always get around. You'll always put it off because you're not quite sure how to get the best quality content. And so how do we do that? How do we get better? Well, invest in training or engage a consultant to help you understand your brand voice and your target audience. Then you can develop templates and guidelines to keep it consistent across all your content pieces. And that was one of the reasons why I created my online course, because my online course was all about helping people create content confidently and efficiently. And it just makes such a difference when you can get on the other side of it to know that the information that you're pushing out is the best that you can offer. And it's still keeping it real. It's all about you getting a little bit better each time and getting better at, like, let's say you were creating video content, when you're confident in how to show up with using the equipment and using the technology to help you with it, it just makes such a difference to removing those barriers. Number 4 is staying consistent. So consistency is the key with content marketing, because when you maintain a regular publishing schedule, it will help to solidify your message and keep you relevant and top of mind. But it can be really, really challenging, especially if you're a one-man show and you've got very limited resources and time. So again, how do you stay consistent when you're trying to juggle all your things in your business as well, and it's just you? I'm the same. I am always trying to look at where are the times that I can create content. I know by the time I get to Thursday, I am not showing up. I'm at the end of my capacity, and I know that because I document it. I always know by the time I get to Thursday that I'm not going to be pushing out reels unless I've pre-recorded them and batched them already. Having that content calendar really helps you stay consistent by helping you schedule in advance. I have a program, it's called Vista Social, and it's a scheduler, and it really helps me to be able to sit down after I've done my planning calendar. Towards the end of the week, I might sit down and schedule out all my posts and things. And Vista Social allows me to publish on Facebook and Instagram, Google My Business, which is really underrated. So many people forget about posting on Google Business, and it's the biggest search engine in the world. It's really important to remember to add Google Business onto your scheduler. So Vista Social also allows me to use ChatGPT if you want to write captions. It'll also integrate with Canva when you've got your posts that you've created in there. And it's also got some really cool metrics as well to help monitor your results. And that brings me to number 5, metrics, measuring your return on your investment. Because one of the things that I see, I had this discussion with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, is that we can lose motivation to create content when we can't see the instant results and we don't see it as a worthy investment. So therefore, we're not allocating the time for it because we don't value it. So it's really important to measure your metrics because of that. And Vista Social, for example, has really cool analytic information. You can see your competitors in there. You can see the reports of your engagement and your traffic on all the mediums. And so metrics as well isn't always just about followers. And I know that it's really easy for us to lose interest because, we only got, 2 followers this week, or I lost 5 followers. And if you're just measuring based on followers, then you could be missing out on all the other benefits of content marketing, because content marketing is about supporting your message and building your authority and building your brand awareness to generate leads and conversion. So if you are turning up and you're sharing your message consistently across the different platforms, and they all help support each other, they all help to amplify what you're talking about. Because if you've heard a podcast and then you've seen it on social media and then you've got an email about it, that's when they all come together to support your message. And I do that all the time. Like, I've heard a podcast, but then I've seen the email and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I've got to follow up and get on their website and do whatever their call to action was. So number 6 is keeping up with trends. Gosh, this is a really hard one in the digital landscape at the moment, because it changes on the daily. And, the content that I put out in my courses last year, I was, presenting them live, because literally by the time I got to the end of that program and I went to launch my course again, a lot of things had changed. So it is really challenging to keep up with those trends that are constantly evolving. I mean, Instagram, I feel like, updates something daily. TikTok is also doing things like they're putting out horizontal videos now. Are they competing with YouTube? I mean, YouTube decided they're going to go hard into creating shorts and short form content. And then you've got LinkedIn that's, loving live streams. So there is always something to stay ahead of, and adapting to the algorithm changes. Oh my gosh, like, there is always something happening. So how do we stay ahead of the trends and stay up to date with the trends and adapt to the algorithm changes? Well, I have people that I follow that are ahead of the game in, say, social media, and I have mentors and I have community groups as well, forums. And it's really about, keeping yourself educated about what's happening. And that's the reason why I've put this podcast together and why I share what I do on social media, because I want to share with you what I've learned, because it changes so quickly. And, the information that I get, you may have missed. So I want to be able to share those announcements with you as well. Number 7 is lack of strategy. And this is probably one of the most important things in your business when you are creating content marketing. Because without a strategy, you don't have a clear plan of what to make that, resonates with your audience to get results. So I always start with a strategy, which is the vision, and it's also the desired results that you want. And, are you showing up for, lead generation? Are you showing up to build your authority in your industry? This is what a strategy will help you with. It'll also help you identify who you're talking to and how you're talking to them. Okay, so then once we have a strategy, then we have a plan, and a plan is the day-to-day things of getting that content made. So if you are talking about, planning out your content, theming out your content, scheduling your content, and batching your content, that's where having a strategy and a plan really helps you streamline that workflow. And that's the reason why I've put together a content planning session. I know a lot of people are hitting the ground running for the year, and they really want to get ahead of the game with creating content and getting it done without feeling like you're always drowning or always chasing your tail to try and push out information that's helpful, that's relevant, that's quality, that's not doing your head in and burning yourself out with trying to stay up to date with everything, and just make it easier. Really, it's all about content planning made easy. And so that's why I'm hosting a content planning session. I've got 2 sessions available coming up on the 26th and the 27th of February. It's free to attend. All you have to do is go to my website, which is debszabo.com/plan, and you can register there. If you do want a little bit more help and you want to dive a little bit deeper, you can work with me one-to-one, where I can actually do a content strategy and a plan out for you. I have sessions available on my website, which you can go to as well. Now, the other thing, if you are turning up to my content planning session on the 26th or the 27th of February, you'll actually get a copy of my content planning calendar, which is where I put all of my ideas for content, when I'm going to share it, how I'm going to batch it up. And it just makes my life so much easier when I'm planning not only my business, content marketing, but also my clients as well. So yeah, jump on my website. And until the next episode of Content Catalyst, happy planning.